So hello everyone, it is Monday. Foster's whining about it. We are unexpectedly home early, so I said there was going to be no weekly vlog. There still might not be a weekly vlog on Monday. We will see how the week goes, but I am starting to film for it anyway. So if you haven't been following the news, we have Hurricane Ian that is on the way, and so we are home early from our vacation. It was supposed to be through Thursday. It is Monday. We are already back home. So we're starting a very interesting week of vlogging. So we came back home. While we were gone this morning, my parents went ahead and put our storm shutters up for us because they were basically sitting here yesterday with nothing to do. So they went through the whole brochure, figured out how to do it, loosened all the bolts, and then this morning, while it wasn't ungodly hot, they went through and installed all of the storm shutters for us. So they didn't realize we were going to be coming home today. We kind of made the decision late last night that we should just go ahead and come home. Our house is mostly a fortress at this point. So those are all up. We decided not to put them on the sliding glass door so that we do have a route to go outside if we need to, and to still take these guys out. This window only has a partial shutter because the power for our ceiling fan on our porch is right there, and so it blocks putting up the entire storm shutter, unfortunately. But all the other windows have their shutters up, so we are, not that you can tell, the blinds are closed, but we are in a fortress, including our front door. Our front door also has a storm shutter because it is glass. So yeah, we are in the compound at this point for the foreseeable future. So if you haven't been following along with the news, let's have a little chat. I don't have anywhere with natural lighting that I can go to, so this is going to have to work. We were at Horror Nights late last night, did not get much sleep last night, woke up and checked out a cabana and came back home. So we're home now. We had lunch with my parents, and then they just left to go home to get their house ready, because right now we think Hurricane Ian is coming to Tampa, but guess what? We thought Hurricane Charlie was going to Tampa and it came to Arcadia. So they're going home to get prepped just in case, because the Euro models do show it cutting across Arcadia just like Hurricane Charlie did. So they're going home to get prepped. We're here with the dogs. Got supplies. We picked them up in Orlando on Sunday. So we were proactive and already got our supplies. We just basically got non-perishables and stuff that can be cooked on the gas stove. My parents had already gotten us more water, so we have plenty of water, which I always have like a base level of water just in case because I'm a Floridian, but they got even more. At the moment, it's still uncertain as far as what path it will take, but it's looking like it's going to come right up the coast, the west coast of Florida. And the latest model, which we still are a ways away, so we don't know anything for certain, the latest model has the eye of the storm sitting just off of Tampa Bay, or even over Tampa Bay, for about 24 hours, which not good. That is really not good. So we're in Riverview, which is a Tampa suburb. We don't have to worry about storm surge because we are far enough inland to not have to worry about storm surge. For us, it's going to be wind and rain and loss of power that will affect us the most. And it's my first time going through a major hurricane with dogs, because we had Hurricane Harvey in Texas, but if you guys were following me for that, you know we got zero wind from Hurricane Harvey. We just flooded because of 50 inches of rain. So the dogs would still go out and use the bathroom and everything because it was just to them rain. This is going to be a different situation, and I think I'm most concerned about these guys and having them go through a hurricane for 24 hours, because I went through Hurricane Charlie, which was a Cat 4, and Arcadia was the second place it hit because it came in at Punta Gorda, which is only 20 minutes from Arcadia. So we had the Cat 4 hurricane experience. The difference for that is that I think Hurricane Charlie was only over Arcadia for maybe an hour. So my parents and I rode out the hurricane in their closet. We didn't have storm shutters or anything at the time. We got storm shutters after that, but we were just rode out the storm in my parents' closet, but we were only in there for an hour and it was gone. This is looking at 24 hours. It looks like it will be downgrading because there is a low front coming through. So it looks like it's going to hit a Cat 4, but then maybe be a Cat 3 by the time it hits Tampa, and maybe be downgrading while it's here, maybe down to a 2. But a Cat 3 is still a major hurricane and still something to take seriously. So we are prepped for it. We'll see how the week goes. It won't get here till I think Wednesday night. So we still have about 48 hours to go. This is part of being a Floridian, is every once in a while you have to deal with this. So I figure I'd go ahead and vlog it, and this vlog will go up next week if we have power. If we don't, sometime. We are back home. I'm gonna unpack. I'm gonna watch the Big Brother finale that I missed last night. I know what happened already because I was following it on Twitter, but I haven't gotten to watch it. And try not to stress too much, which is difficult, but Hurricane Ian, no bueno. Okay, well here is Tuesday, September 27th. So it looks like with the windows boarded up. I've got the dogs out. Let's just take a look at this greenery because all of this might look very different in a few days. At the very least, I'm expecting a lot of leaves down. But everyone, I mean, this vlog is going up after it's already over, but everyone cross your fingers for my tree because I love my tree. It's not even my tree, but I love it. This one's already being prissy. I had to literally carry him outside and he has not left that spot. And it hasn't even started raining yet. It's just too damp out. He's like, no. So he's the one I'm most concerned about for the next bit of time because he just does not like to go out in the yard if it's wet. What do you smell? So I'm got him trapped out there because he needs to go potty. You need to go potty. You don't understand, but there's going to be a long period of time where you're definitely not going to want to potty. So I need you to potty now. He doesn't get it. We'll see how much screen we have left after all of this. It just really depends on what direction the storm goes in. He's moving a bit, which is good. Eating grass, which is not as good. But I'm not going to yell at him because he'll come darting back to the door. Ash already came back inside. Obviously we have moved our patio furniture, so we've got our mower here. We took all the cushions inside the garage. Table's heavy, chairs are heavy. We're probably gonna flip that upside down. So I'm just taking footage right now to show before, just in case. Right now it looks like it's gonna turn and go south of us, more like the Hurricane Charlie path. And I keep saying I've been having Hurricane Charlie flashbacks. Feels exactly like Hurricane Charlie all over again, where Charlie was supposed to go to Tampa and the last second it turned in and went in Punta Gorda, and the eye of the storm went just west of my parents' house. Charlie was like 150 miles per hour, so a very high Cat 4. If it's 157 or above, it's a Cat 5. So Charlie was almost a Cat 5. This one is going to be a Cat 4, but right now they're saying it's going to get sheared down to a Cat 3 before it hits land, and it's going to be like a baby Cat 4, like 130 miles per hour, and then drop back down to a Cat 3, which is like 125, so barely a Cat 4. Still going to feel every bit of a hurricane. We're watching it very closely, so we've got our supplies, shutters are up. We've moved my car in the garage. We had already rearranged the garage so we can get 2 cars in the garage if we need to. Dog, I know you need to still go potty. You did not go potty yesterday afternoon. I know you still need to go. We are definitely at the wait and see. We were toying with the idea of maybe evacuating to Mike's parents' house and Ocala. Still on the table, but at the moment, if it's going further south, we should be fine here, especially with the storm shutters already up. Next door neighbors over here also have their shutters up. Doesn't look like this house does. Across the street, most of them have them up. 2 houses down have theirs up. I can see them. So I think we're going to order some pizza. That way, worst case scenario, I mean, I'll eat cold pizza, no problem. We'll have some pizza to have as leftovers for the next bit of time, and that will be our meal for the day, so we don't have to worry about cooking. And we're gonna order it for lunchtime so that if the pizza places want to close early tonight, the hurricane's not coming till tomorrow night, but in case businesses want to close early to give their workers a chance to prep for the storms, we're gonna order pizza early. Gonna be an adventure. We ordered pizza to have in the fridge. So we got some breadsticks, got a pepperoni, green pepper, olive. Then Mike did salami and banana peppers. So we have leftovers for a while. I also have non-perishables that we got while we were in Orlando. So I had a full pack of waters back there. My mom got us more jugs of water, so we're good on water. Our random soda assortment. We've got a ton of different crackers and chips. Bought a bunch more of those. We've got Pop-Tarts, cookies, chips, popcorn. We've got a bunch of bread. We've got more bread in the freezer so we can do sandwiches, PB&Js forever. Mostly snacky items because we didn't want anything that had to go in the fridge. I got some pasta because we do have a gas stove, so we can always boil pasta. So I got a couple different types of pasta. We've got pesto, we've got olive oil, we've got butter to put on it. We've got tortillas and cheese. If we still have the fridge, we can make quesadillas and that kind of stuff. I just wasn't gonna buy meat when we might lose power and not have the fridge anymore. We have a couple boxes of mac and cheese, so it's gonna be very carb heavy for this week, but we're not worried about diet on a survival week. Hopefully we keep power, but in case we don't, we have a bunch of snack foods. We've got bread for sandwiches, tortillas, pasta. We will survive on carbs. Well, it is 5:50 p.m. and the rain has begun. So this is the first feeder band. Are you gonna come? You gonna come outside? So yeah, rain has begun. First feeder band is coming through. We've got, let's see, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, probably 48 hours of this. But this is just the rain at the beginning, so got a long way to go. Come on, Bear, come outside. It's only gonna get worse. This is the best it's gonna be. He did eventually go potty earlier, so we have at least had one potty trip, but I was trying to get him to come out as many times as I could before it started raining because this is what he does when it rains. Mom, I'm a Malamute. I will melt. You sweet boy. Well, it's 9 a.m. on Wednesday. The wind and rain has started, but like baby wind. Taking the dogs one by one out for a potty trip. I just finished with Foster, which means it's Colby's turn. So the bad news, I'm sure I'm gonna look like a hot mess. Welcome to Liz's Hurricane Vlogs, where she vlogs right after waking up and looks like a hot mess every time. If you watch my Hurricane Harvey vlogs, this is familiar to you. It's okay. I know you have FOMO. It's okay. Woke up at 7 because I heard the first gusts and checked the weather, and it's real bad, y'all. It's going up to probably a Cat 5 before it hits land. I don't know. It's just, this is bad. This is really bad. I'm gonna try to go back to sleep and I'll talk to you guys more later. So hello again. It is now later in the day. It is now 11 a.m. I was not able to go back to sleep once I saw that it was almost a Cat 5, basically sitting at 155 miles per hour, which is a Cat 4, but 157 is a Cat 5. I could not go back to sleep because that was terrible news, and there was no way I was going back to sleep after that. So message with my mom. She's been up since 3:30 because she woke up kind of the same thing, like couldn't sleep, not knowing what was happening. At the moment, it looks like it's going to make landfall near Venice, which was their original kind of take on this yesterday or whenever that was. So at the moment, if it stays on that path, it's gonna cut basically right between Riverview and Arcadia. So both Arcadia and Riverview will be getting really bad winds, but not eye of the storm winds. So fingers crossed. We still have hours to go before we'll know for sure. So we're getting some pretty strong gusts here every once in a while. I'll give you an update outside because it's still safe to go outside at the moment. But I've decided it is time for some stress eating because you know what? During a hurricane, calories don't count, you know? It's one of those things. Vacation, calories don't count. During hurricanes, calories don't count. So we're having some pumpkin spice cinnamon rolls to start the day, and we'll have leftover pizza later. We're just, again, carbo loading the hurricane. Okay, so this is your 11 a.m. September 28th. So far, little things like this coming out of the China berry tree. We had one really big gust while I was out here with the dogs, but mainly it's just this kind of wind so far. Every once in a while, a big gust coming through. Fingers crossed for us, fingers crossed for Arcadia, Bradenton, everywhere. It's gonna be a doozy. Well, we almost had a bad moment where we had our first power flicker as I was making the cinnamon rolls. Realized that the oven was off, or Mike did, after a few minutes, so I was able to pop them back in there. So, well, pop the oven back on. So we are good to go. Good to ice them now. Let the stress eating begin. Okay, so it is now 1:12 p.m. I'm not liking what's happening back there. We have an older neighborhood, and that roof, not looking good. I think it's a shed that's back there. But yeah, we're just getting regular winds, and every once in a while a gust comes through and it gets real crazy like that. 1:12 p.m. on September 28th. That is definitely getting pushed over so far, and it's all wrapped up in air potato vines. See those vines? That is air potato. It's invasive. It's all throughout our tree already. It's not our tree, but the tree that's behind our house. And you can see when it does this, it's just all getting yanked because it's all intertwined. We'll see. Going back inside. 3:13 p.m. Mike has Foster on a leash. Ash is just pottying. Sorry for that vlog. But we don't have to worry about Ash because we know Ash will come right back in. So Mike's got Foster out on a leash. Doing a quick potty trip during all this. Ooh, crazy. Okay, it's now 4:15. We're in kind of a little bit of a not so great section at the moment. The gusts are getting pretty intense and a little more frequent. Like that. Yeah, I don't love that. Don't love that. Hang on, little maple tree. Hang on. So yeah, that's where we're at. Hearing that roof rattle around. Don't like it. Okay, it is now 5:30. I heard that branch crack. Our power just flickered off, but it came back. It just got really bad there for a second. Like that. I'm only outside right now because in this corner the wind is blowing that direction. So in this spot I'm safe because I'm tucked in under our little alcove here and the wind is going that way. So nothing, it's not coming this way. If it was coming this way I would not be out here on the porch, but so I'm trying to stay tucked back here just in case and not really be exposed. We're getting some really big gusts. We had one that was enough that I felt it in the sofa. Don't know what that speed would have been for me to feel it in the sofa, but this is where we're at. 5:30. We have fence movement. This fence piece has come unlocked and it is flapping in the wind. Yep, see, whoop. Not good. I think that one's always been a little loose. Something, you know, you don't think about until now. Where I was like, oh yeah, that one has always been loose. I just don't think it was installed correctly to begin with. And this is the moment where you remember that you saw that before and didn't do something about it 6 months ago. This is the time. I know, hon. I know. It's really windy out there. You can't be out there right now. It's not safe. It's not safe right now. No one's going out there right now. Oh, that roof. I'm shocked it's still attached. Wednesday, September 28th. It is now 7:45-ish p.m. Still about the same outside here. My parents have been stuck in the eye or the eye wall of the hurricane for like 3 hours now. And it looks like they've got at least another 3 hours to go. The eye is kind of fallen apart, but those really, really strong winds right at the center have not really, I mean, they've degraded from when they hit land, but it's still very strong hurricane winds. And it's just not moving and it's just sitting on top of them. So They have storm shutters up so they can't see outside the house. And by the time this is over, it's gonna be dark. So they're gonna wake up to a very different scene tomorrow. And I'll have to wait and see what pictures my mom sent me tomorrow, but I really feel for them because it's tough here and it's only like, I think 40 miles per hour with gusts up to 75, and they're like sitting much higher with like gusts over 100. I know it's stressful. I went through Charlie there and I know it's very stressful to go through it for an hour, so I can't imagine going through it for 6 hours. My mom's messaging me, so I know they're okay, but it's just stressful. We're about to eat some pizza. We still have power so far. It's flickered multiple times, but it's come back every single time. Fingers crossed. I think we've got like another 8 hours? You think another 8 hours at this level here?
I think we started taking like 4 a.m. So.
Oh, so more than 8 hours.
8, 9, yeah.
Okay, so around 4 a.m. here, it's supposed to start dying down a little bit. Didn't get to film the back for you again, but it is looking real tattered back there. We've got a bunch of broken branches on our China berry tree. It's not our tree, but I call it our tree. It's got a bunch of broken branches. The maple tree is doing fine. It's even got its leaves still, which is wild. The Brazilian pepper back there is invasive anyway, so I don't care if it gets shredded. I only care about the China berry tree. Don't know what it looks like out front because we have the storm shutters up and we're not gonna open our garage to look. So no idea what's happening in the front of our neighborhood. Probably gonna be mostly the update for tonight because it's dark now, can't show you anything else, but I might update more as the storm is gone for my parents, so. You know, Arcadia just has very bad luck with hurricanes. Poor Colby has not used the bathroom. 2 a.m. I pointed, he saw my shadow. Since 2 a.m. last night was his last potty trip. The other two have pottied. Ash is brave. He's not phased it at all. He's like, I'm gonna go use the restroom. I don't care. Colby actually went on the porch, which was a step. And then there was enough wind gust that he's like, hell no, I'm not even going out, even on a leash with you out there with me. I'm not going. So this poor baby has not pottied since 2 a.m. last night. And I know he has to go. I know, I see that tail. I know you have to go, but I can't make it stop. So maybe we'll get enough break in the gust that I can take him out to potty a little later and he'll go. They do say for hurricanes to get like a kiddie pool and put sod in it. I don't know that he would have gone even under those conditions because he's so particular. You know, the ground's a little damp, he won't use the potty. So I can't imagine that he would be like, oh yeah, kiddie pool with sod in it. Let me just go to the bathroom. Can't blame him, it's terrifying out there. I wouldn't want to potty out there either.
And that's gonna be longer inland. So I would say around daybreak is when everybody is going to notice huge improvement, even our eastern counties. But this is going to be really tough going, folks, for the next several hours. Anywhere from eastern Manatee County, eastern Sarasota, all of Highlands, all of DeSoto County, and all of Hardy County. The next 4, 5, 6 hours are going to be really, really tough. And this really brings back Irma memories of being with you at night, trying to fine-tune all these numbers. This is all going to move also into Polk County, Dundee, Bartow, Lake Wales, Fort Meade. We're going to track that progress next couple of hours. Back to you.
It's just sitting right on Arcadia. It's about 9:30 now, and it's just been sitting on them since 4:30. Ugh. Like, Wauchula and Hardy County are getting it far worse, but man, like now, because it's moved up from Arcadia, but they're still getting it crazy. Also, you know it's cold in our house when I have put on a hoodie, but we cranked down the AC to 70. I think I'm blurry, but we cranked down the AC to 70 just in case we lost power. That way it would have longer before it got uncomfortable. And I am officially cold. Put it on a hoodie. So 9:30 p.m. Still going through it. So Bean just made himself comfortable. He just spun himself into this blanket. I was in the kitchen talking to Mike and I just saw him like spinning around and I just had to get my camera so you can see this. Adorable. He put himself here. Look at his little face. Look at that sweet little boy. There you go. Finish tucking you in. Oh my god. Ridiculous. So he's been fine all day. Ash has been fine all day. Colby, it is now 10:30 p.m. and he is still not pottied since 2 a.m. last night. So let me do a wind update for you. It's gonna be very dark. It is obviously not gonna be able to see anything, but you can hear it. It is 50-mile-per-hour winds right now. But less bad, believe it or not. You might not believe me right now, but I promise this is less bad than it was at like 6 o'clock. So, all right, going back inside now. So, hey guys, it is now Thursday. Is today Thursday? Yes, I think it's Thursday. It is the day after the hurricane. We are doing okay here. Very minimal, like there's some tree damage around the neighborhood, but really not bad at all. We made it through. Our fence piece stayed intact. We kept power the entire time, knock on wood. I still feel like I'm jinxing it every single time I say that. We are on the other side of it. My parents in Arcadia, a different story. I mean, they're fine, but there's no power, there's no water. My mom said it's chaos outside, that it's devastation. It's worse than Hurricane Charlie, which once it hit there, I kind of figured it would be because Charlie was very small. I think the entire storm was only like 40 miles across. So the damage field was small, but this hurricane took up like the entire state. So damage field much larger. A lot more areas affected by it, and it was slow. So Charlie rushed through the state. This one sat over Arcadia for 6 hours. So 6 hours of hurricane force winds is just gonna do an incredible amount of damage. Plus, on like a perfect storm kind of category, we've already gotten so much rain this September. I'm sure you've seen it in vlogs, everyone in the theme parks talking about how much rain we've been getting. Horror nights, we've been getting so much rain. That's been all of Florida. We've gotten so much rain in September that the rivers and the creeks around Arcadia were already flooding. The Peace River was already at flood level, and then Arcadia and the surrounding areas got tons of rain. I think Arcadia got 20 inches of rain yesterday. So adding that on top of already flood level means that currently all the roads to Arcadia are impassable, because the thing about Florida, we have a lot of water. We have a lot of creeks, rivers, lakes, ponds, all of that. So Arcadia being kind of out in the country, out away from main cities, the roads to get there are country roads, smaller highways, you know, 2-lane highways that go over creeks and rivers and that kind of thing. So we checked. It looks like right now there's no way to get to Arcadia. There is one path that I think might be passable maybe tomorrow once they clear some trees and debris off. But again, it was so big that there's trees and debris everywhere. They live out in the country. You have to kind of drive through the country to get there. It's a mess. So I assume they'll clear the roads because they're going to be sending power crews and everything to that area. All of DeSoto County, which is where Arcadia is located, has no power. Arcadia is really the only town that's in DeSoto. There's a couple little places, but Arcadia is really the only city, and it has a population of less than 19,000. I think DeSoto County has a population of less than 19,000, not just Arcadia, but DeSoto County as a whole, 19,000 people. So very small compared to where we are. So typically when hurricanes happen, not the priority place to get power back. Big areas are, so they're probably looking at least 2 weeks without power. Once the roads are passable, obviously we'll get to them, we'll help them as much as we can, and then we'll get them up here and they'll come stay with us. At least I think. It's a lot. So Mike and I are about to go take our storm shutters down, because right now one of the things with a hurricane is once it's gone, it's really nice outside. So that's at least a bonus, is that my parents are working on their house and we're gonna take down our storm shutters, and it's like 70 something degrees and breezy out. I figure we'll go ahead and take our storm shutters down, and that way if the roads are passable and we can get to my parents either tomorrow or Saturday, we can get down there and help them because our house will already be done. Update on the dogs. They're all good. Colby finally pottied many times this morning. What time was that he woke us up, Mike?
6 maybe.
Okay, so 6 a.m. he finally woke up and was like, I have to potty, I cannot hold it anymore. So he woke us up at 6 a.m. Mike took him out. We came back, went back to bed. And then I took him out again at like 10, and he went potty multiple more times. So he is happy now. He's like, thanks Mom for telling the internet all about my potty. Aww. Are you happier now? He's no longer scary out? Yeah. Okay. So we've already started moving things back But this is what we're looking at. I am shocked that roof made it through the entire thing. That thing was whipping all around, but it survived. It made it. Everything looks a little blown over because the winds were going that way the entire time. So all the trees are kind of leaning that direction. I mean, it looks scraggly back here now, but you know, the Brazilian peppers lost all of their leaves, but we lucked out with the wind going that way because it didn't try to take out our fence. And this was kind of coming over into our yard too much anyway. We were going to get it trimmed off, and now it'll just be easier to trim it off. So this tree's got some branches snapped, branches down, but it made it, which I was really worried because I love that tree and I did not want to lose it. Take some time for it to look back to its beautiful self because we got all these snapped pieces, but it's still there and I'm happy because I didn't want to lose it. I love it. We really only had one branch down. Mike already picked it up. Our neighbor's tree right there is kind of leaning over, but I think they'll be able to prop that back up. Starting back here, we're gonna take them all down while it's nice outside. I haven't been out front to see what's out there yet, but Mike said neighborhood looks good. Like there's like a palm tree down the block, but everything else looks good here. So we really lucked out, but we'll see what happens for Arcadia.
Debbie and other systems over the years that can drop 20 inches of rain, but not in 7 or 8 hours. Just never seen anything like it. And that doesn't even begin to describe what's going on in the Naples area, in the Fort Myers area, with the winds that gusted up to 150 miles an hour and a 10 to 14 foot storm surge. Again, this is just one it's hard to fathom, and I know a lot of us are feeling survivor's guilt.
So hey guys, it is Friday evening, out with the dogs. It's just absolutely lovely out tonight. So we came back out. 70 something degrees right now. It's fall in Florida, it feels lovely. But I wanted to give a final update in this vlog. It's Friday, so this weekly vlog is ending with everything going on. So we are pretty much back to normal here. There's still quite a few areas around us that don't have power. This neighborhood back here doesn't have power, and I can tell because I can still hear their generators going. I don't know if I vlogged this morning. Let me see. Bummer, I did not. I filmed on my phone and put a story on Instagram, but I did not grab my camera this morning. But it was bright blue skies this morning. It's still blue skies, but it's evening time, so it's not quite as crystal clear blue. But the plus side of the hurricane is that it took all the hot weather with it. So it is officially fall, at least for the next few days here in Florida. And so at least all those people without power, at least they're having nice cool days. So if it's getting hot in your house, you can at least go outside and cool off, which is not normally the case. And the evenings is actually dropping down to the 60s, so they could open their windows, and that's a blessing. A lot of times these hurricanes come through and it's August, and that doesn't happen. It might be in the 70s the next day, but very shortly after, it's back to being humid, insanely hot, and you're having to do yard cleanup and pick up all that mess with no AC to go to. In this case, my parents don't have running water, so no like hot shower, no water to shower with to begin with, so you're just doing like a sponge bath basically, and it's miserable. So at least there's any silver lining to this is that everyone that doesn't have power is at least having beautiful weather, so it's not having to be absolutely miserable. So we obviously really dodged a bullet here in the Tampa area. We are pretty much back to normal. I worked today like normal. I took yesterday off because we had a bunch of stuff to do around our house, and I was trying to figure out if I was going to be able to get to Arcadia to help my parents, but obviously the answer to that was no. And if you haven't been seeing my posts on social media, let's talk about that. I will share some pictures here off to the side of what's happening in Arcadia. So basically Arcadia is an island at this point. There's enough rivers and creeks around Arcadia that have flooded, and they have blocked off all the highways except for one. There's one way to get in or out of Arcadia right now, and that would be to take Highway 70 east to 27 and then go north. I'm sure there's probably a way that you can cut over before you get to I-4. Maybe cut over at some point from Lakeland. I'm not familiar with that path because I would never ever take that path in general life, so I actually don't know where you would turn to get back this direction. And if you're taking back roads to get to Lakeland, those might be flooded too. Every other highway or back road to Arcadia is currently flooded. So I'll show some pictures here. If you're not from Arcadia, I know that doesn't mean much to you, but I will try to find a clip of a vlog, if I can, of me driving across this bridge. So this is the bridge over the Peace River. It's Highway 70 into Arcadia. Colby's having feels. Highway 70 into Arcadia. This is the main bridge that you take to get into Arcadia. You have to cross the Peace River to get to Arcadia. And for the first time in my life, oh my goodness. Colby, you wanna go out? Or you think they're about to get in trouble? You wanna go out? Oh, I know why. Yeah, I know why. You think they're about to get in trouble, huh? See a light? All right. Hold that thought. I must puppy mother for a second. All right, boys. Come on. Ash. Look at him. Sticking his nose in that fence. Ashton, get in here. Good boy. That's my obedient boy. That's my obedient boy. Where's your disobedient brother? Foster. Hey, you, get up. This is what I deal with. Foster Bean. Come on. That little trot. Hey. I know. Foster, come on. Let's go. Foster. Ah. Ooh. He's such a stinker. Get a terrier, they said. He went back to lizard hunting, anything but listening to his mother. Alright, he's finally going. Not to the door I wanted him to go to, but I'll take it. Alright, let's get in here, a stinker. Okay, I had to relocate because Gabby and Maya next door were coming out on the porch and Foster was gonna start barking. So back inside, unfortunately. It's lovely out. I would have rather just stayed out there, but timing. So we'll go back out in a little bit. I think I was talking about the Peace River and this bridge that is the main bridge into Arcadia. It's the first time I've ever seen this because it's the first time it's ever happened. I don't know when this bridge was built. It's been there my entire life. There is an older bridge right next to it, but this level for the river is beating the record from 1912 by 3+ feet. So no one in their lifetime has seen it because I don't think we have anyone that's 110 years old in Arcadia. So no one in their lifetime has seen the river this flooded. Now this wasn't just the hurricane. The river was already at the top of its banks prior to the hurricane because I think I may have already talked about this earlier in the week, so I'll keep it short. But basically, Florida's gotten a ton of rain in the past month. So the river was already flooding and then they got 20+ inches of rain over the past 24 hours, like during the hurricane. So yeah, it's just historic flooding. And it's not just the river, historic flooding for Horse Creek, for Charlie Creek. There's a bunch of different creeks around Arcadia. There's a lot of water in Florida. So every highway is flooded. So we can't get to my parents. They can't get to us at the moment. But they're doing okay. They have no power. They have no water yet. But other people in Arcadia are already getting power back, which is very impressive because I know during Charlie and Irma, it took a really long time for them to get power back. Charlie was like over 2 weeks, I think maybe even 3 weeks for Charlie. So I got to go off to college and not have to go through that. But I do remember my mom coming up to Gainesville and doing her laundry at my apartment in Gainesville. So I was there for Charlie, but I got to escape and go to Gainesville. Fall semester was starting. So if they're able to get power back within a few days, that will be amazing for them. But yeah, even if my parents wanted to come stay with us right now, they can't. It's really not reasonable to get out of Arcadia at the moment, and unless you have a boat, you're not getting through the highway. Everyone is okay. The besties are all okay. Brittany and Jordan went back to their apartment. Somehow they have power at their apartment. Our parents' house is okay. They lost power. Kyle's family had evacuated to a hotel because they were in a flood zone, but they got back home and it didn't flood. So they have no power, but Kyle's fine. Kyle's family is fine. So all the besties are good. My parents are good. It's gonna take some time to recover, obviously. From what I'm seeing from Arcadia, the downtown area got hit really hard. The historic downtown, those buildings just took a walloping this time around. Otherwise, the rest of the town looks better than it did after Charlie. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, it just looks better. Maybe because Irma was only 5 years ago, and so they already lost a lot of trees during Irma. The town doesn't look that bad aside from the flooding. The flooding is obviously the biggest part of this one for Arcadia. It's insane. I've never seen anything like it. The river's supposed to crest today and then start going back down, so maybe by the end of the weekend, the roads will be passable again. But the best thing is that everyone in my circle, everyone in my life, they're all okay, and that's the most important thing. So homes can be replaced, roofs can be replaced, all of that stuff, as long as the people are okay. Really dodged a bullet on this one. I know it was not fun to go through for my parents. I felt really bad because my mom kept messaging me asking like, how much longer, and I had nothing but bad news to tell her, because it was like every time she asked, the newscasters were saying like, it's gonna be another 2 hours, and then the 2 hours had passed and they're like, it's still not moving, it's gonna be another 2 hours. And I felt awful. I was glad I was able to communicate with her. I'm glad I was able to give her updates, but it felt terrible having to tell her like, you're nowhere near the end of this crazy storm. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap up the weekly vlog. It's gonna be back to pretty much normal life for us this coming week. Definitely not the week that I was intending to have, but I'm very fortunate and happy that we're here on Friday, and can't say I have nothing but good things to report, because there's obviously a lot of bad things happening and a lot of terrible things happening for Florida, but I'm happy to report that we're all okay. We're going to be okay. Arcadia, I know, will band together and get through this again. We went through Charlie together, we went through Irma together. I know we'll get through this one together too. I will definitely keep you guys posted on social media as far as updates on what's happening in Arcadia. For us, we are pretty much back to normal, thank goodness, and there'll be more in next week's vlog. So with that, I'm signing off, but I will see you guys again next week.